see here, the question is like this. We have to accept 3 subject marks of 5 different students. And we have to display it. Just this is the question only. Then how to solve it? Here we can use 3 into 5, that is 15 individual variables we can create. This is the first way. Then we can create different one-dimensional arrays, means 5 one-dimensional arrays, because one-dimensional array will represent 1 student. Then 5 different arrays, 5 different one-dimensional arrays having size 3, we have to declare. This is the second way. And third way, we can declare here one two-dimensional array having dimension 5 by 3. 5 by 3 why? Because 5 different students and each individual array will represent marks of 1 student. That's why 5 students, that's why first row size will be 5 and individual array will have size 3. Getting? In this way, means how internally how to store, how we want to store like this. First array will represent marks of first student, like let it is S1, then S2. Here we have to store marks of second student. In this way, 5 student marks we can store internally. Now we will group together these all one dimensional arrays and use here two dimensional array concept. Now first we have to include that header file like stdio.h, that is as usual. Okay, now see next we have to write void main. In that we will declare one array. Here integer array we have to declare, and here the array name let s, and first how many students are there? 5 students are there, and each students 3 subject marks we are going to store. That's why 5 by 3 row size will be 5 and column size will be 3. If you want to store marks subject wise, marks means first subject marks of 5 different students, second subject marks of 5 different students, then the array will be like this 3 by 5, because there will be 3 rows and each row will have 5 different elements in it. Each element of that one array will represent marks in one subject. In that way you want to store, then declare array of size 3 by 5. But here I am going to store like this, one element of that two dimensional array will represent marks of one student. That's why we have to declare array like this 5 by 3. Again see, in one dimensional array we have used one for loop to access individual element of that array. Why? Because see here this s of 0 will be this, s of 1 will be this second array, like this s of 4 will be the last array, and here individual array we can access like s of 0 0. In this way, here this one is 0 1 0 2, here 1 0 1 1 1 2. In this way, then here this one is s of 4 0, then here 4 1 4 2. In this way we have to access individual elements of that array. Now for that we will take to access means to access first array we will use I counter. I counter will indicate row and j counter will indicate column. In that way we will use two counters and two for loops, nested for loop we will use here to access individual elements of that array and display again. Okay, for processing always keep in mind that for processing of one dimensional array normally we have to use one for loop. For processing of two dimensional array we have to use nested for loop actually. Now for that we will declare again two counter variables, first is I, second is j. Now see, we will give message like enter the marks of first student, then second student, then third student, in that way. And for that we will first place loop like for I equals to 0, because here this I, this will indicate this one 0 1 2 up to 4. Okay, like that, I equals to 0, I less than 5 I am giving, I less than 5 you can give, or I less than equal to 4 you can give. Here 5 means see, this is nothing but here row size. Always the outer loop is having outer loop should get executed that whatever specified here as a row size, those number of times the outer loop should get executed. Okay, like I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. And inner loop we have to place for individual elements, for accessing individual elements of that array. Okay, and that is actually number of whatever column size we have specified, those number of times inner loop should get executed for every iteration of outer loop. And for that we will place here like for j equals to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus here, because column size and row size is fixed. Okay, now here how to access individual element. Now see, in this way we can access. First I will give here message like printf enter marks of 3 subjects of student. Here I want to display like enter marks of 3 subjects of student 1, then user will enter marks of 3 subjects. Again same message should get displayed like enter marks of 3 subjects of student 2, then student 3. Okay, we have to display here student 1, 2, 3, but indices like index is 0 based, that's why we have to place there I plus 1. Okay, otherwise it will display student 0, student 1 and student 2. Instead of that I can write here like this, enter marks of 3 subjects of student 1, and for that we will write here I plus 1, because I is 0 initially, then 1, then 2, but we want to display one based message like student 1, 2, 3 in that way. Now see, for j equals to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Now what should be done here? See, we have to accept this element. Accept this element means 0, 0. Here see, at this place I is 0. Whenever control will come here, first it will display message like enter marks of 3 subjects of student. I plus 1 means 0 plus 1 means 1. Then user will enter 3 subject marks of that first student. But 3 subject marks should get stored at these places. Now here index is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Means 0 is fixed here. That row or whatever value of I is fixed here. Now j will get changed. J will move from 0, 1, 2, that is column index. Will move from 0, 1, 2. Same thing we have done here, 0, 1, 2. This loop will get executed 3 number of times. And the value of j will be 0, 1 and 2. That we can use to access this individual element. This first index is I, second index will be j, because see here I is fixed but j will get changed, and that point we will use here. Like here we can write scanf %d ampersand. Now the element, the name of array is s, first index is I, it is fixed here for this iteration, I is 0. For second iteration I will become 1, for third iteration I will become 2 and so on. And j will change from 0 to 2, 0 to 2, 0 to 2 every time. Okay, because this loop will get executed fully for every iteration of outer loop that we have seen while studying that nested for. Same thing we will apply here. Now s of I, and then here we have to put j. In this way we can access marks of 3 different subjects of 5 students, and same thing we have to display now. First we will display message like printf 5 student marks. Okay, now here one by one we will display all those marks. Here I am placing, see here, for I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Then for j equals to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Here we have to outer loop will represent number of rows, inner loop will represent number of columns. Always remember. Okay. Now here first we can write here student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, student 5. In that way we can display. Like here we will write like printf /n student %d comma again I plus 1. Okay, and for that student we have to display 3 subject marks. Okay, like printf again %d, give some space here because all the marks will get displayed onto the same line. I am not putting here /n. That's why %d, then give some space, or you can also put /t, and then comma. Here what is the array element? This one we can access with 0, 0 means that is nothing but ij. S of I Z in this way. That's it. In this way we can accept 5 student marks in 3 different subjects and we can display. Okay, now here close the main. In this way we can use this two-dimensional array concept while doing these type of questions, these type of programs. Normally this two-dimensional array is used for matrix manipulation. Like matrix is what? Matrix is having rows and columns in it, and to handle matrix we can use this two-dimensional array, means to accept matrix, display matrix, doing addition of two matrices, transpose of a matrix, matrix multiplication, every matrix manipulation programs we can do with the help of this two-dimensional array concept.